Hi, and welcome back to GraceviewKids at Home. Today, I am building a wall. Just like Nehemiah built a wall around the city of Jerusalem, I am building a wall around my city. If you watched last week, you saw how Nehemiah prayed and prayed and prayed about the wall and how God answered him. And God had the king send him back to Jerusalem, not just to build the wall, but he also sent him back with the supplies necessary to build the wall. So today we will continue in the book of Nehemiah and talk about what happened when Nehemiah was building that wall. Now, when you're building a wall, you have to make sure that the wall is big and strong, because you never know when you might be attacked by enemies. Like, say, for example, a group of pirates, even veggie pirates. But we're not ready for that yet. First, we've got to build our wall. And while I do that, you guys go check out the Explore the Bible on Location video with Joel.
Is fast. I like to go fast. This belongs to a super cool guy we're gonna meet today who also likes to go fast and restores old cars to make them better than ever before. And that's gonna help us as we dig into our story today in the book of Nehemiah. Go ahead and turn there and get ready to discover that no matter what God calls us to do, He will protect us. I'm Joel. This is Explore the Bible on Location, and I'm ready to go for a drive. Driving this thing is so much fun. It's so fun to drive something that's super powerful. But you know, over time, vehicles can become broken down and they need to be restored. Hey, that reminds me of our Bible story today. This is Nehemiah. The king of Persia sent Nehemiah to restore the wall that was broken around the city of Jerusalem. A city's walls protected it from being invaded by enemies. The other people groups living in the area did not want to see Jerusalem's wall rebuilt. They threatened to hurt the Jews if they tried to restore the wall. Uh-oh. Not only did Jerusalem need protection, the people of God needed protection from their enemies too. All right, everybody, we are here with the super cool car guy I was telling you about. This is Steve. Steve, say hey to the kids.
Hello, kids.
All right, so tell us about when you got into cars, like how old you were and how you started working on cars.
I started out at an early age. Both my grandfathers were mechanics. My father was a mechanic, so everybody was a mechanic in our household. Started getting my own tools around 5, 6 years old. Actually started fixing the neighborhood kids' bicycles and go-karts and mini bikes, welding and fixing. Then got my first job, was working for my grandfather at a service station at 15 years old. So got an early start.
So you've been doing it since you were a little boy.
Yes.
Fixing bicycles, go-karts, that is so cool. And working on cars as a job when you were 15. You've been doing this a long time.
Yes, I have.
Tell us a little bit about what you do in this shop.
Well, I buy some cars to collect. I buy some cars to fully restore. I buy some cars or work on some other people's cars to get them restored. So a little multi-function shop here.
How long on average does it take you to restore a car for it to be ready to sell?
Well, that can vary. I mean, depending on the need of the car, all of them are different. Some cars can take as little as a month or two to do the basic safety diagnostic and repairs, and being it breaks and stuff like that. And some can take 2 years just for minor restoration. I have one in the shop now that's taken 6 years so far. We're tip to tip. We're redoing everything. The whole car was taken apart, so we're just restored it from tip to tip. Just all the wiring, all the plumbing, all the drivetrain, interior, everything to make it like a brand new car.
Wow, restoring cars is a lot of difficult work. Do you think maybe you could show us some of the other cars that you're collecting and restoring?
Oh, sure, be glad to.
Nice. Whoa, this is awesome. This car looks kind of scary.
That's a machine right there. I used to race this one some. I built this one from the ground up. I bought it, got it back down to a shell. There's no stock parts on this car. It's got all aftermarket suspension. It's got a 540 aluminum Merlin block in it. It's producing about 700 horsepower. It's got a 6-speed right behind that, and a Ford 9-inch rear gear in it. It's got all aftermarket NASCAR style suspension. It handles road course real well. So that's what I've been doing with it, is auto crossing and road racing. Yeah, this one's got, if you'll notice, it's got a cage in it for racing. They require that. It's a full cage in it. This is a car that I get out on road racing tracks with it. Some of them are 4 miles long. You know, I get this car up to probably 160, 70 miles an hour. It's a 1970 Camaro, but it's really made to go fast and handle well. So it's, again, this one's been restored from tip to tip. Wiring, plumbing, 1,000-watt stereo. I mean, it's a machine. A lot of fun to drive.
Well, this is amazing. All of these cars that you're restoring and making stronger and faster than they were before, which reminds me kind of what Nehemiah did with Jerusalem's walls. Hey, do you think we could drive that one?
Which one?
The Chevelle?
Sure.
Awesome. This is Sanballat and Tobiah. They were enemies of the Jews who did not want Jerusalem's walls to be rebuilt by Nehemiah. They threatened to harm God's people, but God protected his people, and the people trusted God and rebuilt the wall. Day after day, the people worked on the wall under Nehemiah's leadership. It usually takes Steve anywhere from 2 years to 6 years to restore a car, but under Nehemiah's leadership, it only took 52 days for the wall to be finished. Finally, after a long time in exile, the temple was rebuilt, the houses in Jerusalem were rebuilt, and now the wall protecting the city was rebuilt too. God is faithful. Nehemiah and the people needed God's help to finish the walls around Jerusalem. And guess what? God helped the people and the walls were finished. And that's what we discover when we dig into the book of Nehemiah. I'm Joel, he's Steve, this Explore the Bible location, and this Chevelle has been restored to have over 700 horsepower. Hey, can I drive? No. He says I can't drive. That's probably smart. So, I'll see you guys next time. I hope.
As the Israelites built this wall, they put their trust completely in God. They knew that the only chance they had to be safe from their enemies was if God protected them. And that's exactly what they did. They finished building the wall, and God took care of them the whole time. And it works the same way for us. When we have a job to do, when God tells us what we should do, we can trust Him to take care of us and protect us the whole time. Now, I think I am done with my wall, and now it's ready for attack. So now, the dreaded pirates, veggie pirates, can come in and attack with their fancy tennis racket cannons. Oh, can't break through the wall. I built a wall that can withstand anything. Psalm 27 says, "Some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we trust in the name of the Lord our God." Well, that's it for this week. But remember, when God gives you something to do, you can trust Him to take care of you until that job is done. I built my wall so well that I think the only thing I'd have to worry about is... Oh no, did you hear that? It couldn't be. Not him. It's